Hey there, everybody. Thanks for joining me for one of my favorite games of all time, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I know this playthrough is kind of coming out of nowhere. I felt like playing something, and I figured I'd play something that I played for a while and really like, share with you guys. Let's hope I don't get taken down or anything. Hey, we're going to press start. And we're going to press start. There we go. Of all the buttons that's finicky on my controller, it's the start button. As you can see here, I've played this game several times. I think I've got about 7 or 8 PS1 memory cards, and they all kind of look like this. They've all got a few playthroughs of this game on there. We'll go Axe Armor. Even though I don't really use it, for some reason I'd still like naming my character that so I know it's there. Journey back to 1792 in the Transylvanian countryside of Romania. Doom, 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 and skip it. Sorry, in all honesty, I've seen that a million times. I'm sure if you're a fan of this game, you've seen it a million times. And if you're a fan of this game and you've seen a million of these playthroughs, thanks for watching this one, because this is probably just going to be more of the same. And remember, I don't pretend to be a speedrunner or a pro or anything like that. This is just, I like to have a little fun. You'll see me play through this in my... This is basically the same way I usually play through this game. So it's not going to be anything super fancy.
You don't belong in this world.
It was not by my hand that I'm once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.
Tribute? You steal men's souls and make them your slaves.
Perhaps the same could be said of all religions.
Your words are as empty as your soul. Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you.
Sorry, that I just have to leave. Oh, I got hit. Yeah, depending on how you do this beginning stuff, certain things change. You'll start out with more or less health or things like that. For instance, I always do this where I use up all my hearts and you start out with a heart refresh in your inventory. Again, I don't even really use it, but I've gotten into the habit of playing this game a certain way so much. I've switched it up from time to time. I did all punching, like all punches and fist weapons. Stuff like that. It just, over time, this is one of those games that I love to come back to and just, I know I can blast through it, so I go on and I blast through it. I apologize right now also for the low image quality. I learned something very interesting when I was trying to start recording this game. I bought a component cable for my PlayStation 2, and the idea was to use it through component because it looks great. And for some reason it would work up until I put the game on. Like, I'd get the PS logo and then I wouldn't get anything else. Like, I would get all the audio, but I wasn't getting any picture. I guess what's happening is that there must be something to the, again, I'm not like a pro or anything, so there must be something to the image quality, because it did it with all PlayStation 1 games. Once it switched to the game, it stopped working. Now when I put it on an actual PS2 game, and it worked fine. It was very strange. I didn't know that apparently there's something with the picture signal that it wouldn't read it. So what I to test it, I was kind of curious. I put on my Wii with the component, the first Wii, with a component cable, but then I used the GameCube Zelda Collector's Disc, which has Zelda 1 and 2, Ocarina of Time, and I believe I don't think it has a Majora's Mask, but it has the playable demo for Wind Waker. The playable demo for Wind Waker works fine. Zelda 1 and 2 didn't work. Same thing. Everything came up until I went to play those original games, and something about the image, the picture signal, it just died out on me. Everything went black, and all I got was audio. I thought it was very, very strange. So it only works when I use the composite. Yeah, the reason I started talking about this, it only works when I use the composite. So the image quality is going to be a little rough.
Alucard, what is your business here?
I've come to put an end to
I
this.
love that voice.
Still befriending mortals. I'll not
That version of Death I would love to do as a cosplay.
but I demand you
You know, I always see the Grim Reaper and it's just a big robe. But I'd love to have the open robe with the bone structure up top.
regret those words. We will meet again.
Yeah, it took a few hits from those stupid fish. I always get caught up in them, and once you start getting hit, you're kind of stuck. Yeah, like I said before, this is one of those games that I go through every once in a while. I probably play it twice a year. I think I've played every version of it, except the... I didn't get the one on the Xbox Live, because I was told that that is more like the Saturn version, which was sort of the most mediocre version of the game. You know, the image quality was rough. It was very grainy. Some of the visual effects just didn't play off very well. Like it just, for some reason, it looked bad. And I have it. I have the import Saturn one, and it has the extra Maria fight, which is very nice. And I like the extra controls. I like the controls that you get from Maria. On the Saturn version, the Maria controls are they're like Street Fighter moves. Like, it's not like the PSP game. I think it was the PSP one where her moveset was more like it was in Rondo of Blood. Good music. I really hope I don't get a takedown order, because I'd love to keep the music in this video. In fact, you'll hear my favorite video game music. You'll hear my favorite video game song of all in this game. Love the punches. Get in close and you get multiple hits. Makes the punches really strong early on in the game if you're brave enough to get in there. Plus, you can get a punch weapon early, and you kind of overpower a lot of enemies early on if you're willing to use them. I like to get some hearts early on. There's the first boss I usually use the dagger for, and you need a few hearts for that. I'm a new Let's Player, so it's, you know, I apologize if there's a lot of downtime. I know I've got some other videos on here, and it's probably annoying to hear people apologize, but I'll probably, you know, there'll be silent patches where I don't talk, or I'm trying to focus on whatever's going on. Plus, of course, you know, there's always what they call the Let's Play curse, which is I've played this game 1,000 times, and 1,000 times it's gone fine. So now this is the time that I'm going to get a bunch of mistakes. Quick little sock to the bone structure right there. All right. First boss, bros for life. Once you get a few hits, they'll go to that, which makes them a little bit easier. Ah. Wow, I apologize. I'm doing terrible. I really should be punching it. There we go. There we go. That's, man, that took a lot more effort than it should have. I know I said I'm not a professional, but it should look a little bit better than that. Alright, fun story. These guys right here. I love the old Castlevania games. And when I first played this, I hadn't played it in a while when it had first come out. So a buddy of mine there, I was working at a store called Game Gallery. They're not around anymore. And a buddy of mine said, "Oh man, you gotta play this. You love Castlevania, so you'll love this game." I don't know why I didn't play it. I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't. And someone had just traded one in, which is how we had started talking about it. So he found out that I hadn't played it. So we popped it in and we started playing it. I'm playing it and I'm thinking, this is pretty good. We got up to those guys. The second I killed one of them and it fell apart and the blood started coming out, I looked at him and said, "I want this game." And I literally sat there. I pulled money out of my pocket. I made him ring that copy of the game up, and I bought the game on the spot. That copy is the version that I still have today. I've been collecting for a while, so it's a lot of my games are the first ones that I ever bought. And this was definitely one of them. And then I proceeded to play this game for ever. You're not getting away. I'll go out of the way and get certain things. Do specific things. I stick with the holy water because the holy water is kind of overpowered depending on where you use it and how you use it. Like, you're gonna see me go all the way down. I'm gonna open up the secret way back to sort of where the starting area was, and then come all the way back up. But then later on, when I use the gateways to travel through, it'll make it easier to give me more access. Don't let them touch you. They'll curse you. It's kind of a pain. But visually, it's a very cool looking effect on you. If you're lucky and I'm unlucky, you'll probably see it later. You gotta appreciate her dexterity, though. Yeah, few well-placed holy waters will make short work of even some of the strongest enemies. Oh, I missed that skeleton. I love these little ghost enemies. I love the noise that they make. I always make it a point to kill a bunch of those. That was one thing that caught me with this game was this was the first time we really saw a major attention to that kind of detail. You know, we started to get little weird screams and stuff. I mean, we had it in Rondo of Blood, but for some reason it was very pronounced in this game to me. Ew. That guy can do some serious damage, so this early on, a couple bumps into him and you can go down really fast. Yeah, that's all I really needed to do. At this point, you can kind of go back either way. It's just easier to go back this way.